Here with me is the Huawei Watch Fit 2 and I've been using it for a while now, and here is my review of the smartwatch. So let's start from the beginning, which is to pair your smartwatch with your smartphone. And the phone that I'm using is the Oppo Find X2 Pro, which is an Android phone. And this smartwatch could be also paired with an iOS device, which I didn't try because I don't own one. So I downloaded the app, which is the Huawei Health app on the Google Play Store. And after installing it, apparently I couldn't actually pair the smartwatch to the smartphone. The app just does not have the device on the list of devices that you could choose from in order to pair with it. And this is not the first time I've encountered this problem, because a few months ago, when I was trying out the Huawei Watch GT3 Active, I also have the same problem, and apparently it is still not fixed after even months later. So I use the same method, which is the one I found online last time, which is the app gallery version of the Huawei Health app. And the app, as usual, works seamlessly, as the application will actually search for the watch which is nearby, and you do not have to actually choose from a list of devices on the app. So the pairing of the watch is rather seamless, or rather the setting up of the watch is rather simple, because once you actually pair your watch with your phone, then you could start using your smartwatch already. And as usual, for most devices that I've tried out so far, there's always a firmware update, and this is no exception. So the firmware update takes quite a bit to actually get downloaded on the phone and then transfer it to the watch and then installing it on the watch. So when I started using the watch has 60+%, and I remember after installing the update, I'm down with 50+%. And I did not charge the watch to full when I started using, so that is the amount of battery that I have when I started using the watch. So with that amount of battery that I have on the watch, I actually use the watch every single day. So the way I use the watch is I would actually put on the watch and turn on notifications which I have installed on my phone, such as Telegram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and I actually use the watch once to run, and the whole usage of the watch lasts me 5 days before it runs out of battery. So with around 50%, that will last me around 5 days. If it's the same for 100%, that will be 2 times of it, so that will make up to 10 days. So with a flat battery, I actually use the charger that is provided in the box, which is the 2 magnetic pin that is connected to the back of the watch. Unfortunately, it is not the common Qi wireless charging that you could use if you have one spare one in your drawer or on your desk. And the charge time for this is about 1 hour from 0 to 100, and I feel that that is a rather reasonable amount of time to charge the smartwatch. And speaking about running earlier on, I've only tried out the interval run for the watch itself. It is apparently buried within the running option in the watch. If I did not explore the watch, I would not have realized there is an option for me to use the interval run feature of it. And through my experience, I feel that it is rather simple to understand the feature of it, where you could set how many laps you want for the interval run, and there is also a warm-up and cool-down before and after the run. However, the minus point for it is probably the inaccurate GPS, because I realized for every single round that I run, the endpoint is always different. And for interval run, since I'm mainly focusing on trying to improve my 2.4 timing, it is rather important for me to know where exactly is the endpoint, as one of the main features for interval run is to really improve your overall run timing. And the distance and the rest time, all these are rather crucial. So putting fitness aside, as for my day-to-day usage of the smartwatch, I mainly use it to view notifications. The vibration on the smartwatch is rather strong, that I actually will not miss any notifications at all as long as I actually wear it on my wrist. And for the notifications itself, you could actually select any application on the smartwatch that you have to enable notifications to be pushed over from your phone to the watch. However, there is no way that you could actually reply for any of the messages at all with any custom text, because there are no keyboard input for the smartwatch, as well as there is no speech to text input. There is, however, a quick reply function that you could select from a list of messages that you could choose to select and send it back as a reply, but I feel that that doesn't actually kind of help me a lot. As for the UI experience, swiping to the right gives you the Huawei Assistant, and you could see a various couple of things such as the weather and quick access to the music player on the watch. and for me, I did not actually try out the Huawei Assistant to see whether or not it is as good as, say, Google Assistant, as I do not really use Assistant as much on a wearable device. And swiping from the top, you could gain access to quick toggles like the ones that you see on a smartphone from the notifications shade. And speaking about notification, you could swipe from the bottom to see the list of notifications that you have from your phone to the watch. There is a single button on the right where you could gain access to the menu. And for me, I feel that due to the lack of recognition of the icons, sometimes I do not know which icon represent what. So if you were to access any of the pages on the watch, in order to get out of it, you could swipe from the left in order to back, or you could just go straight to your home page by pressing the button. And speaking about the button, when I were to wear the watch on the wrist, it is rather difficult for me to press the button because it is rather flat. So I wish that the button would pop out a little bit more so that it is easier to reach compared to how it is like with its current design. As for the display, it is a rectangular shape. So as mentioned before in the previous video, it felt like a smartphone which is shrink down into a size that is suitable to be worn and seen on your wrist. And I feel that actually having a rectangular size watch kind of makes sense because most of the applications are built in a rectangular shape rather than a circular shape, and the UI just feels more familiar. And if I were to use the watch in an outdoor scenario like under the sunlight, I have no problem viewing it at all. There is auto brightness on the watch and the brightness would just adjust accordingly, and this has always on display as well, which I did not actually switch it on because to me it doesn't make sense to have always on display on if you're not actually looking at your watch all the time. Apart from the display, there is also a microphone and speaker on the watch. And for me, I've tried calling with my friends and they say that they could actually hear me rather clearly on the watch itself. As for the speaker, I feel that the speaker is rather loud. And speaking about phone calls, this watch is a Bluetooth enabled device and there is no way that you could insert a SIM card or attach an eSIM to the watch. So in order for it to answer any phone calls or receive any notifications, it has to be paired to your phone. So putting all that aside, comfort wise, I feel that it is rather comfortable to actually wear on the watch for the entire day because of how lightweight the watch is. And even for running, it feels like I'm actually not wearing a watch while running, which is a rather comfortable feeling because you want to feel light when you actually go for a run. And the fitting of the watch is just right, but of course you could actually adjust the strap to the comfort for your own fitting. And if you actually do not like the strap, you could actually swap out the strap by buying an external official one or an external third-party strap of your liking for the watch. So overall, I kind of like the watch for a various number of things, which are the fitness mode, which are the notifications, the design, the lightweight, the display. But of course, there are a couple of dislikes about the watch, which is firstly the lack of replying to notifications with custom text. Secondly, it's probably the inaccurate GPS for the interval run because GPS is rather crucial as it is a form of training. Thirdly, it's probably the setting up process. Even though I say the setting up process is rather fast and it does not take a lot of time, the fact that you can't actually use the Huawei Health app from the Play Store is a problem itself because for people who are not tech savvy enough or they do not know where exactly to find the app gallery version of the app, they may accidentally download the incorrect one and that may actually cause inconvenience for them, whether it is accidental malware or some other issues that they actually face. But yeah, other than that, these are the things which I like and dislike about the watch. And for the pricing, this watch costs $168 at its retail price and it comes in 3 different colors. Mine is blue in color and there are 2 other colors which are pink and black. So if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like, do comment down if you have any opinions and do subscribe for future videos like this. Thanks for watching.